call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, we have a quorum.
Yes, sir, we have a quorum.
All right. Next, it's my pleasure to recognize Boy Scout Troop 402 from Pine Grove and Patterson Springs. Tonight, they're going to come forward and lead us in invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. So, guys.
Some of this is the plain county thing we give.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, after I'm doing the invocation, everybody goes, Dear God, thank you once more, please put for the wonderful day, and that everyone that's here is home safely, and have a great rest of the night. Amen.
Amen.
Kevin,
Hey, guys, if you would hold up and if the rest of the troop will come up, Commissioner Hutchinson has a lapel pin for all you guys.
I got something plain.
There's some, you got that.
I have a whole bag.
Yeah, I started saying, there's more where it's needed.
All right, this is the county pen, okay? Also got veterans, yeah, veterans. You guys are not veterans, are you? Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, we can. You want to get,
Hey, Donnie, can they get a picture up here on front of the board?
And we just gonna stand in the back.
Yes. just come up here to the center.
No, I just don't want you to listen. If it falls apart, I want to be the one doing it.
All right. Congratulations. Good luck on your badge. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys, again for being here. Next, I'd recognize any elected officials who may be present. All right, seeing none, next we'll recognize any veterans present.
Jason Falls, United States Air Force. David Cotton, United States Navy.
Sonny Hudson, U.S. Army. You make yours yet?
I'm trying to get in the reserve jack.
Sorry.
Sadly, no. Can't make the cut.
Can't run fast enough.
Too tubby. Dad bod.
All right, moving right along. Recognize any law enforcement present. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all you do. And last but not least, we'll recognize any county department heads.
Logan Arbor Secretary. Those down, my name.
Rebecca Johnson, Special Services, Sydney Hampton Health Department.
Francisco Rodriguez, HR. Jason Falls, Public Relations. Terry Davis, Management Department.
Thank you all. Appreciate all you do. All right, board, first item of the night is the motion to adopt the proposed agenda. We've all been presented the agenda. Are there any changes? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion second, all in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries unanimous. Next is public comment. So no one signed up to speak, so with that, we'll forego the statement. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. We've all been presented a consent agenda in our weekly packet, our board packet. We've had opportunity to review that. Is there any discussion? All right, here none, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries unanimous. All right. So we have a public hearing tonight, Madam Clerk.
After the public hearing has been opened, citizen speakers will be acknowledged in the order in which they signed up to speak and will address all comments to the board as a whole and not one individual commissioner. Speakers will address the board from the speaker's podium at the front of the room and will begin their remarks by stating their name and address. Discussions between speakers and members of the audience will not be allowed. A public hearing is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers are expected to be civil in their language and presentation. All comments from the speaker shall be directly related to the subject of the public hearing. Each speaker is allotted 5 minutes to address the board. A speaker is not permitted to share, reserve, or relinquish any remaining time allocated to them to another speaker.
All right, so the one public hearing tonight is the Consolidated Human Services Agency Board. So with that, I recognize our county manager, David Cox.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Public, the purpose of this evening's public hearing is to receive public comment relative to the establishment of a Consolidated Human Services Agency. The board has already taken that first step by establishing and standing up a nominating committee. And following the public hearing, would ask and recommend that the commissioners consider adopting the proposed resolution, which would establish the Consolidated Human Services Agency, and then also consider the nominees put forward by the nominating committee. And with that specifically, seats 1 through 4 and seats 15 through 16, initially start them with a 2-year term, and then seats 5 through 14 with the 4-year terms. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the chairman.
All right, so at this point, if you guys remember the last meeting, we had the presentation. And so I'll ask if anyone has any questions before we open the public hearing. Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right, since there's no questions, we will open the public hearing. So the public hearing is now open. And also, we had no one signed up to speak on this topic. So without objection to the board, I'll now declare the public hearing closed. So with that, it's back to the board for our deliberation. David, I do have one question. So I don't think we actually set the number of board members last time, so we need to set that too as well. That's 17,
The 17.
based off of if the board takes up your recommendation.
Yes, sir. 17 plus the commissioner appointment.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I think that you need to explain the purpose of this board. And it's gonna be similar to the other 2 boards, that they're actually advisory boards, that the county commissioners have full control over the boards and the department head.
I think that's a good point. So, David.
Sure. So under the Consolidated Human Services Agency model for Cleveland County, we are looking at the Health Department and the Social Services Department to be collapsed under the umbrella of a Consolidated Human Services Agency. And with that, the Social Services Board and Health Board would be disbanded, but a majority of those members would make up this new Consolidated Human Services Agency Board. They would have advisory authority. They would be able to set their own rules of procedure and adopt decorum and etiquette, and as well as ethics. And they would be in a advisory or recommendation mode only to the Board of Commissioners. All boards appointed by the Board of Commissioners fall in that category of advising and making recommendations to the Board of Commissioners. The Consolidated Human Services Agency Director which would be an assistant county manager, would be appointed by the county manager with the advice of this new consolidated board, but not necessarily having a veto over that. It would be at the sole discretion of the county manager.
Did that satisfy you?
Sure.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, if I may ask.
Yes, sir.
County Manager, just one question. What period or term are these people going to be appointed to, assuming that it's approved?
Yes, sir. The consumers of human services and the public citizens, I would recommend that they start out as a 2-year to get these staggered. And then the professional specific seats, number 5 through 14, everything from psychologists, pharmacists to optometrists, those be your 4-year terms because they're really specific and difficult to recruit for.
And the 2 years would become 4 years after we stagger it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes,
Are
sir.
there any other questions? So I'm gonna request the board, we break this up and do it in a couple motions. The first, we need to set the number at 17. So I entertain a motion to set the board total at 17 plus the count, a commissioner as ex officio, which is
Some-
from statute.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion to second. Any discussion on that one? All right, hearing none, all in favor will say aye. Anybody opposed? All right, next, David, if you would be so kind, I'd entertain a motion of the board for those that you're recommending a 2-year term. If you would read off the heading and the names that the committee, the nominating committee has nominated for 1 through 4 and 15 through 17.
Yes, sir.
So this will be the 7 that would start with a 2-year term. Once that expires, they can continue to serve, but then it would flip to a 4-year term.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. So if you read those by heading and then the names of each.
Yes, sir. So starting first, consumers of human services, there are 4 specific positions set aside for these. And it is Henry Gilmore, Paula Knipe, Robert Miller, and Maggie Horn. And then public citizens at large would be Mary Acor, Allison Gregg, and Danny Blanton.
Is there a motion to appoint these 7 that's been nominated by the nominating committee?
Make a motion, we accept those.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, that passes. So next, David, if you would, this is those that are by specific disciplines, which is derived from the statute. So these are the profession-specific seats. David, if you would read each one of those by heading and name, and these would start with a 4-year term.
Yes, sir.
And there's 2 of these that are still open because, right?
Yes, sir. The first would be for the psychologist seat, Clara McLaughlin. The pharmacist, Marty Hamrick. Engineer, Cale Mead. The dentist, Sarah Carner. The veterinarian, Rick Dixon. Social worker, Suzanne Hensley. Registered nurse, Christina Alexander. And the physician is Dr. Nancy Klein. The 13th and 14th would be the optometrist and psychiatrist, which we are still actively recruiting for.
So board, we've heard the names for 5 through 12. Is there a motion to appoint these as nominated by the nominating committee?
So moved.
Okay.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, we have one last one to do. I'm assuming once we recruit for 13 and 14, you'll bring those back.
Yes, sir.
So we need to also fill the commissioner, which is an ex officio role. So the floor is open for a nomination for a member of the Board of Commission to serve in that capacity. Y'all want to flip for it?
nominate Deb Harden for that position.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion to second for Deb. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? All right, that motion carries. So David, you and Jonathan threw me up. I think that's it, right? So we checked all the boxes.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you all who's worked on this. Oh, yeah, so I forgot one thing. We also must approve the resolution, the draft resolution from last time. That's the reason we need the 17 to fill that one box. So is there a motion to approve the resolution,
So moved.
which actually creates the entire board?
Okay, so moved.
So we have a motion, and second for Tony. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that motion carries unanimous as well. Again, thank you all for all the work on that. It's taking some time to get there. All right, now we're down to the regular agenda. The first item is community contact. Perry Davis, EM Director.
Mr. Chair, let me take just a moment, if I can, on behalf of the Cleveland County employees, to just say thank you to this board for your support. It means a tremendous amount to our employees and the morale, and to know that you all stand behind us and continue to support us in the way that you do. But tonight, we've got a special opportunity to present to you for Cleveland County as a whole. I'm going to bring up Josh Queen. Josh is going to do the presentation on this. Community Connect is a tool that we're going to be able to use to obtain information that will be pertinent to emergency response throughout Cleveland County. And I'm going to let Josh get into that with you.
Hey, Josh.
Good evening, Commissioners. Yes, we are now working with a portal system called Community Connect. We got a video with it. If we'll go ahead and show it, then I'll explain afterwards a little bit more.
As your fire and EMS agency, we are here to ensure we do whatever it takes to protect you and your family. However, there are many valuable pieces of critical information that can help save lives or property in a real emergency that we don't know until we arrive at your door. Things like how many occupants do it affect your home, if anyone has access or functional needs, or speak another language, whether or not you have pets or livestock, structural details like where the vendors are, or even where hazardous materials may be located. But now, with Community Connect, you have the power to keep us informed of nearly everything that matters, so we can better serve you when emergency strikes. Community Connect is a safe and secure online program available at no cost to all residents that allows you to provide us with critical property and accident information that we can access at the time of response, leading to better outcomes in case of fire or medical emergency. So, what are some examples of the kind of information you can contribute? First, your family members. Who lives in your residence and how they touch during an emergency? Next, your property. Things like where your family's bedrooms are located, your gate and door codes, if you have a pool or basement, how to shut off water and electricity, and even where your family's emergency meeting place is located. Your needs. Details regarding functional needs like mobility, Alzheimer's, autism, severe allergies, visual or hearing impairments, and more. And last but not least, your pets. Their picture, their name, their habits, and even their veterinary information. So no matter what happens, your 30 family members are always known about and taken care of. Signing up with you from any internet-connected device is just take the phone number, email, and an address. Rest assured, all your data is safe and only available to our first responders during the time of response using the same data security and encryption standards found in online banking. If you have 5 minutes to sign up, please select the link to create your profile and get started helping your first responders help you.
So a little bit of background on this, that we have a record keeping system for all the fire departments that they use to manage their calls, manage their inventory, that they have access to now. And so that's a modular we had added on to where the citizens can go on and log that information that you just seen into that modular, into that system. And as the call comes out and that address is populated to that fire department, they're going to be able to see that information that the citizen puts in that and be able to respond accordingly. Like if there's pets involved in the house, if there's someone that's disabled in the house, we'll know that on the front end and know before we get there what issues we may encounter. If there's gates, like I said, if there was pools, things like that, information that we would need to know going to the scene. It's not a replacement for 911 by no means, but it is a heads up for us to let us know what kind of situations we might be running into as the fire, on the fire side of it. So we thought it would be very beneficial for the county to have this information and have that available for all the fire departments to have that information. It's kind of I said citizens and businesses both. So both of those can go in and register on that portal and give that information to us as we respond to those calls. So we're hoping that, we're going to push out around the first of the year. We're going to do a campaign to try to push that out to where we can get citizens involved, because if we don't push it and they don't know that's there, they're not going to sign up for it. So we're hoping to make a big push for it around the first year. Once we get some things worked out on our ends, how we're going to take that information in, and we're working on that now actively. But once we do that, we're hoping around the first of the year to start pushing that out to our businesses and our citizens so we can have that data and be able to import that in when we have a fire call. So we passed out a little information. That's what it does on that handout. You can be able to sign up to it through a website or the QR code. It's pretty easy to get signed up on too. But like I said, we're not really going to start actively pushing this in until after the first year, until we get some perimeters on our end set. That's what we're working on now, but we felt like it was important to come to you now to let you know what we're looking at and what we're fixing to endeavor on here in the next few weeks. So just by looking at that, any questions?
So I was gonna ask, but I
Yep.
think y'all aren't sure yet. So you're not sure what method y'all were gonna get this out to the public yet? So
Well,
you're still working on
We're
that?
still working on that.
Yeah.
That company, the first deal where we're giving our records management system has a pretty robust media campaign. And so they're going to be able to help us. I know we're going to have to utilize social media and just word of mouth, that kind of service. And then we're going to have to really cater to the ones that special needs first and make sure that they're able to sign up on it and they know how to sign up on it. So that's where we're hoping to get into it. And then more like our civic groups, our churches, things like that.
So is the idea that this data will flow directly into 911 if they do call there?
The idea is that, see, we all have, all the fire departments, because it is the 911, when it sends out a call, it sends it out to us to respond and gives us information from the 911 system. It's going to be tied into that information that's being sent. But yes, it'll be on the initial. We don't get that information until it is addressed, incident happens at that address, and then it comes to us via that way.
I can see some people giving you some pushback because of privacy issues, but you're gonna handle the information just like the medical community does HIPAA, and it'll only come to light if the first responders need it.
Yes, sir. That's the same way that's worked, same thing. They also integrate into medical stuff too, that same software system. They do the same thing on it. And again, all that information will it'll be up to the residents on what they want to put. There's nothing required on that. They could just put their name and address, but all that information is just what they put in there to give
The
to us.
encyclopedia salesman's not gonna be able to get a hold of it.
No,
Hey, you got three children.
no. They're going. It's a
That's
secure
right.
network, and that data will not come to the fireman until it is given to that call. So we're going to control that pretty well, what data is, and then they got it on the back end also of controlling that data. And it gives us a lot of advantages too. We're able, once we get that database able to built, and we're able to send out messages. Just for instance, right now, if it's dry, the way we've got that information set out, we're not in a burn ban, but if we would want to send out information to use caution, that kind of thing, we could send those out to those registered users to say, hey, use caution. We're not in a burn ban, but be careful what you're doing with it. And then also weather alerts, things like that. But we're working a lot more towards that as we're starting to develop this program in.
I can certainly see where it'd be very beneficial, the more information that you guys have when you go out to do this, you're going to react faster and more efficiently. So
I could see it a good advantage of that as far as somebody being in the house, not having mobility issues. And then also, we run a lot of calls too with pets in the house.
Yeah, I have a little sticker. I won't need that if I do this.
That's
Well,
right.
in case y'all missed the sticker.
We even know the name. If you put it on there, we can call the pet to us.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I saw on television, it was an advertisement, but it was called a suction for children. And it looked like a funnel type thing. Put over the little kid and he push down, jerk up, and it sucks anything out. Just choke. If you saw that,
I have seen that, yes, yeah.
that's a possibility, something we should look at.
There's still some stuff on that. I can't speak on the medical end of that, but I am seeing some stuff that to kind of research that right now. Yes.
So Josh, I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So first, the data's gonna come to, it's not active 911 now. What's the system?
It's first due.
All right, so first due. So when you get a call, say wherever, say it's on 100 Main Street, and that's the location of a house. So anybody that's responding to that address is gonna get all this information.
The departments that are dispatched
That's
to
what
that address, yes, will be access
So
to that
is
information.
all that, is this information tiered, or they get 100% of what you enter?
It could
For
be,
example, is it possible to tier that to where like door codes or gate codes could be kept by dispatchers and only relayed to on scene?
yes, we can work into that as far as departmental or what they want their department to have. They can have only officers that will have that information, or they can upload that to only, well, firefighters can, or maybe just a certain criteria could have that information if they choose.
So then I have one follow-up to that. So post the incident, when the incident over, is the data in their phones till they delete that call out, or is it timed out? So for example, when they cleared a call, if I put my gate code in this out, they're gonna be a firefighter, paramedic that has a gate code 6 months from now, they don't delete the call data out of their phone out.
We're still working on those policies to see, but that, you can have that to where each fire department in a certain amount of time, it will clear that data out automatically. So yes, to answer
Yeah,
your
I think
question.
both of those are
yeah,
important.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank y'all. All right, next item is the Waco Volunteer Fire Department and EMS Emergency Medical Services Joint Construction Project. Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We are to the point where we have a construction budget. It is 4.6 million for the total project. And you do have a joint construction and ownership agreement for your review and consideration. And just as a reminder, the construction cost and ongoing operating cost is proposed at a 60-40 split. So 60% would be Waco Volunteer Fire Department, and then 40% would be for the county. And for the specific construction part of this agreement, it would be, we're asking that the board appropriate $2.2 million. And that would allow us to cover the 40% of the county's portion of the construction, and then allow roughly $360,000 for contingency and furniture, fixtures, and equipment, FF&E. And as a reminder, the spaces that we would be getting in this building, we would receive 2 apparatus bays. They would be drive-through bays. Kitchen, day room, 2 bedrooms, restroom, 2 storage rooms, and a generator. And it would be affixed and adjoined to the Waco Volunteer Fire Department portion of that building. And just to give everyone a sense of where this is, it is in the vicinity of the Foothills Public Shooting Range and a landfill up in that general area on parcel 67263. It's property that the county owns and has transferred and deeded that to Waco to actually construct this building. It's the 5 acres that was deeded several months ago. And at this time, county staff would recommend funding the project and doing that through a PAYGO, funding through our fund balance. Yes, sir.
All right, members of the board, what questions might you have?
On construction, the county's portion is gonna be for ambulance, EMS or EMS system, housing, something, the sheriff's department.
Yes, sir.
You didn't cover that.
For the sheriff's office, they would have a portion of the office space in the day room.
Yeah.
They would have some allocated space there. Yes,
But
sir.
we're
Like a satellite office.
Yes, sir.
We're moving the ambulance service from the, up next to the old fire department down there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We would transfer that unit to this permanent location.
Any other questions?
No, just a comment. I think it's in a very good location, close to the new bypass. It'll be able to go, 4 directions in the county if they need mutual aid or if EMS or even the law enforcement are there, they can get a lot of places in a hurry. So I think it's a good location.
What's the desire of the board?
Make a motion, we proceed with it.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, and a second to approve the manager's recommendation. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? That motion carries unanimous. Good work, David. Make sure Blake's involved with it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have one item left tonight's closed session per North Carolina General Statute 143, 318, 11, A6, to consider the qualifications, competency, performance, character, fitness, condition of employment, or conditions of initial employment of an individual public officer or employee or prospective public officer or employee, or to hear or investigate a complaint, charge, or grievance by or against an individual public officer or employee. Do I have a motion? Hear a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Is there a second? All right. All in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that motion carries unanimous. The board is now in closed session and will reconvene in the board's conference. open session. During closed session, the board took no action, gave direction to staff. With that, that brings us to the end of the agenda. I should have, next time I'll ask this before we go, in case anybody have anything. We should do that before we went to closed session.
Closed session, cause nobody's here.
All right, with that then, I remind everybody that may be still watching, and for the record, the board will meet next time on Tuesday, December the 2nd, 2025 at 6 PM here in the chambers. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? All right, thank you guys. Appreciate all you do.